We've been fed lie after lie after promise after promise. This whole thing has been an absolute nightmare. So today we're going to go up and see him. He doesn't appear to be in, and all our stuff's outside.
What?
Actually, all of the defenders that were here have gone.
Has he actually done a runner?
It would seem so. I mean, he's deleted his Facebook and he's nowhere to be seen. Right, well, let's go check our stuffs there.
This was the moment it all fell apart. After 18 grueling months, our dream had finally broken. This will never not be a painful memory for us, and it's fair to say we'd ignored our gut feeling for too long, at the risk of letting our dream die. But before we show you the extent of what happened, let's take it back to the beginning. This is the full story of how our dream van turned into a disaster, and what we chose to do next. The story begins in September 2023, 2 years after we bought our Sherpa van, in a workshop on the Lizard Peninsula in Cornwall. We'd found the person to build our bespoke, one-of-a-kind van, merging a Freight Rover Sherpa body with Land Rover running gear to create a unique off-roading vehicle for our future travels. In December 23, we had a chassis delivered from Mayer, and everything was looking good for the project to begin. The engineer's plan was to lift the body off the Sherpa and lower that onto a complete rolling 110 Defender chassis. After months of hold-ups and delays, we eventually agreed to take the van down to his new workshop in April 2024. The wait was finally over. We'd prepaid for most of the parts we needed, and he had a solid plan moving forward with the build. This was the moment our dream of several years would start to take shape.
It's finally here at the workshop. We've been planning this for so long, months, years, I don't know. But this feels like the day where the journey really starts, doesn't it? This is where the van is going to become its true self.
Except it didn't. Nothing happened. We waited for months, and months, and months. As the weeks passed, excuses multiplied. We kept handing over more money because each stage, he said, depended on another part. Small bits of work were taking place, or so it seemed. We'd arranged to go and see him to film the progress, and he'd cancel at the last minute. Or we'd make the hour-long journey, only to be left with one of his employees who had no idea where he'd gone. Worry began to set in, but we weren't prepared to face the grim reality that was looming. We were still hoping to see our van take shape. Eventually, we threatened to pull the project. We'd almost given up hope when he invited us down to see the beginning of the rolling chassis and to watch him remove the engine and sand the van down ready for painting. All this time, our van had sat outside, windows open, uncovered, rusting in the rain. It felt like too little, too late. And then, nothing. It was now March 2025. By this point, we'd paid him thousands. We started to ask around about his reputation, and what we discovered hit us like a ton of bricks. Multiple Land Rover garages warned us to stay away from him. Ex-customers told us stories of losing tens of thousands of pounds or receiving vehicles back in dangerous conditions. Most alarmingly, we spoke to former employees who'd left with months' worth of wages unpaid, who informed us that his business was about to enter liquidation.
Last I heard, he was liquidating his company. I'm still battling to get owed wages dating back so far as October, hence why I had to leave. I would get back what's yours as soon as possible. If it's true he's liquidating as he said to me, there's a possibility vehicles will be included.
Around the same time, he deleted his business Facebook page, and things started to feel off. Then an email came through, and it confirmed everything we'd heard.
Unfortunately, 2024 was a total disaster for the business, with having to relocate, issues with staffing, no power for 8 weeks, and illness. Unfortunately, your project was not seen as a priority and was pushed back somewhat, which was not ideal for anyone. Whilst I appreciate you have outlaid a large amount of money so far and you have not seen much progress, unfortunately, you are not the only customer of mine who is in this situation. It's a situation that is incredibly stressful for everyone, but one I'm now in control of. Hi Ben, yes, my estimate is starting to prove way off. Things with work are not going too well. Whilst I hope to complete the paintwork on the van body in the next few weeks, it's incredibly likely that I may have to close down in the next few months. Unfortunately, back to working on my own is not proving to be financially viable, and I am now slowly falling behind on work and finances. Only having 10 hours a week on each job is just not efficient or effective. It would be a good idea to start asking about for anyone who could do the amalgamation of the chassis to body. This would give you a backup in case I do have to shut before it's finished.
We were devastated, but we knew we had to act quick. After 18 months, we pulled the plug on the project. What happened next began when we demanded our van back, along with the thousands of pounds worth of parts we'd paid for.
It's almost really hard to imagine that 16 months ago we began this project, and in that time space virtually nothing has happened. We've been fed lie after promise after promise. We've thrown so much money at this, and at the moment we really don't have much to show for it. We've not even got a complete rolling chassis after 16 months. We've heard rumours that we're going to be going into liquidation, and that has really panicked us, because that basically means that our stuff will be up for grabs if that's the case. So we've made really emergency plans to go and get all our stuff back while we still can. This whole thing has been an absolute nightmare. He has ruined the enjoyment and the pleasure of this journey with this vehicle for us entirely, and I mean that. He's taken every last bit of enthusiasm and fun out of this project. So today we're going to go up and see him, or we're going to go and get everything that we're owed, and then we can hopefully move on with our lives. I don't know what the next step is, whether we're going to give up, whether we're going to find someone else to do the project for us, or what yet. We just know that we need to get our stuff back before it's gone forever.
Why do I always feel so anxious when we come up here? My gut is literally churning.
Yeah, it's just a horrible place to be. I'm concerned that his shutters are down though. He doesn't appear to be in, and all our stuff's outside.
What?
In the rain.
Our van's just out there in the rain. Where's he gone?
He doesn't seem to be here, does he? And all of the defenders that were here have gone.
Oh.
I've just realised there were loads outside.
What's happened?
He's off, isn't he? Coward.
Has he actually done a runner?
It would seem so. I mean, he's deleted his Facebook and he's nowhere to be seen. Right, well, let's go check our stuffs there. It's our windscreen. These aren't ours.
What?
In there. That's not what we paid for.
Is it all in there?
It's hard to say, innit? It's got lists and lists of invoices. Pull the van forward and we'll get in through the back, because there's just mountains of stuff back there. And it's obviously just thrown in.
It's incredible to think it's almost a year to the day that we dropped this van off on a tow truck. And I imagine that 12 months later we were going to be getting it back as one whole piece, not two.
So this is the bell housing that, as you can see, is spotlessly clean, because we've been charged for it to be clean. So he's done a really good job on that, hasn't he?
Two rear half shafts.
Can't see them.
A-frame and mounting kit
Can't see that.
and differential cases.
No, they're definitely not in there.
It's just so sad. It just wasn't meant to be like this. It's not a nice feeling, is it, when you realise that you actually have been fleeced?
We just want to believe that people are good and people will do what they say they will, because that's how we are with people. It's clear now that he's done nothing but lie and cheat his way through this business relationship we've had with him for the last 18 months. What an absolute...
What we found over the coming days was worse than we'd imagined. Around £1,400 worth of parts were missing. The van had been left outside, exposed to the elements, and was beginning to rust all over. As we dismantled the rolling chassis, it quickly became clear that the labour we'd been charged didn't match what was in front of us.
So, it's all apart now.
Yeah, what did that take us?
That took us an hour and 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even 2 hours?
Not 2 hours.
You know, he charged us like 40 hours labour
I
to
don't
put
see
that
how.
together. That's taken us an hour to take apart.
Yeah. Then he's bodged the rear stay mounts on the chassis. He's had to widen them open just to get the stay bar in. Wrong size bolts, none with, or virtually none with nuts on them. Finger loose. The chassis was balanced on the springs and held in place with cable ties.
And the engine?
And the engine doesn't fit that chassis.
You said the engine mounts were in the wrong spot.
The engine mounts are in the wrong spot, or it's the wrong engine for that chassis.
So it's been thrown together, basically, in an afternoon to make it look like something's been done.
Absolutely bodged together.
We've paid, I don't even want to think about how much money we've paid for that to be done. And we've just disassembled it like that.
You got second-hand half shafts in there, which you supposedly paid for brand new. You got second-hand swivel bolts and all that lot. It's all second-hand. Disc brakes are second-hand. Nothing's new. That's
I'm
it.
just looking at this like, this just looks like a rusty pile of scrap we've got here. This doesn't look like the makings of a new van.
Overall, I think it's a complete con job.
We'd poured 18 months of our time and thousands of pounds into a dream that had become our everything. And suddenly, it was gone. It's fair to say our mental health and our faith in people hit an all-time low. After trying and failing to find a way to carry on, we ended up stepping back from the project altogether. Our dream van and our dream journey was on hold, indefinitely. Months passed. Eventually, we shared a video of what happened. The response was overwhelming. There's so many comments.
There's hundreds.
I can't believe how many comments there are. All is not lost. There is a way forward. I wish you luck in the continuing adventure. Remain positive and follow your dreams.
Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not, then it's not the end.
It's true. I would 100% watch a build series on this dream van. Please make it. Oh, so many people were saying how they miss our videos and stuff. It's really nice.
Sounds like a project that will be worth the wait. Sorry that some humans are shitty.
Sometimes life throws a curveball to test your mettle. This will make you stronger and wiser, and eventually you will achieve your dream and put this disaster behind you. One day, I was going through some old paperwork, and I found something I'd ordered before this all began. An original Sherpa brochure. I was sitting there, just looking at it, and then it hit me.
Found. Oh, wow.
It was so simple. It was staring at us right in front of our eyes.
From there. That's how we can do it.
We didn't need a Land Rover chassis or over-engineering. We didn't need to rebuild everything from scratch either. We'd lost sight of what we actually wanted. Something simple, capable, mechanical, still fundamentally a Sherpa, but with Land Rover running gear, more suited to the road ahead. So, we went back to the drawing board. We started searching for the right people we could trust, people who understood what we were trying to build and could finally bring our vision to life. The search began, and the Sherpa Project would continue.